Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the new plants that I got. Over the last few months, everything's been shut down, so you couldn't really get anything unless it was at Walmart. But within the last few weeks, all of the nurseries opened up again, and I ended up getting a couple of new plants. Some of them are from the nurseries, others are just ones that I picked up at grocery stores and stuff like that. But I've never done a haul video, so I thought it would be fun to just kind of show you guys some of the new plants that I got. So we're going to start off with, I think, the oldest plant that I got, and I'll have to cut away to it because it's hanging up over there. And it's actually this jasmine that I found at Covey's. Covey's is like a grocery store in the area, and I think it was maybe 20 bucks or something like that. It's looking a little ratty. It did flower, and the blooms are now done, so it's a little bit of a mess, and I'm going to be pruning it all back in a plant care video that I think is going to come out even before this video comes out, so we'll see. But this plant has been a little finicky. You got to water it every day and keep it really moist. You can see up here just how dry some of the vines got because I accidentally let it dry out and you're not supposed to do that with jasmine. You got to keep it nice and moist. But I really liked this one, and the blooms when they came in were so nice. I got to cut all this back, but yeah, that's the oldest plant that I got. Just kind of happened across it and really liked it, so I thought I'd get it. So that one aside, the next plants that I got from a local nursery called Vandermeer. And I wasn't planning on going to Vandermeer. I was actually headed out because I had to renew my driver's license and my health card because they had expired on my birthday. But I got to Service Ontario and they weren't open for another hour, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? So I just drove and found myself at the at the garden center. And I got one of these. So this is a mini jade crassula. And if you'll remember, I had one of these, and a couple videos ago, it went really downhill. My mini jade and my Golem's jade I don't know what happened to them. They started to drop leaves. They started to look really, really sick. And when I looked it up, the internet was well, it's getting too much water, and then it was it's not getting enough water. So I was very confused what was going on. And my Golem's jade ended up living. It's not looking the greatest. But it's still living. But my mini jade completely died, and it was kind of a big shame because out of all of my jades, my mini jade was my favorite. So I ended up getting one of these. It was really cheap. It was $4 bucks. But yeah, I'm happy with it. It's bigger actually than the mini jade I had that died. So hopefully that means that it will take less time to grow into a big tree, which is what I was hoping for. So I got that one. At the same time, I was walking around the store, and they had this section in the back that was kind of these plants that were not doing too well. They were plants that needed a home, even though they weren't growing very well. And this one was there, and I picked it up because you all know how much I love my snake plants. And it was it looked really great. There's some spots in it. This leaf isn't that greatest. There's some cold damage, but you know what? It's in really good condition, and I think I got it for $5 bucks or something, which is really great for something this size. And I just noticed today that it is flowering. So I don't know if you can see that, but there is a flower growing right on the inside. And these plants typically flower when they've been really stressed out, which this one has. But I think it's going to do really well. It's growing new stuff already, and I'm actually going to take it out of here and plant it with a couple more of these. I have 7 or 8 Sansevierias because they're my favorite plant, and I want to put them everywhere. But a lot of them are this size, so I'm going to group a bunch together to create a big plant. So yeah, I got that. In that same sort of section, I found this, and I've always wanted one of these, but they're really overpriced at the nurseries around me, at least. And it is a TETRASPERMA RHAPHIDOPHORA. Is that how you say that? TETRASPERMA RHAPHIDOPHORA. And it's sad looking. It's tiny. It's kind of pathetic. This leaf is probably gonna die. But it was in that same section as the Sansevieria, so it was in this area with all of these plants that were not doing too well, and they looked kind of sickly, and they needed a good home just to kind of bring them back to life. And I thought, yeah, I can bring it back to life. So I picked it up, and this was only, I think, like $8 or something like that. And they had plants this size with a bit more leaves on them going for $30. So I thought this was a great deal, even if, you know, it wasn't looking its best. And it actually does look a lot better than it did when I got it. It hasn't done anything. I've only had it for, I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. But I repotted it because the soil that it was in was so bad. And it's doing pretty good so far. I'm pretty excited. If this leaf does die, it's no big deal. But yeah, I've got the start of something new here. But I have a feeling that this will grow a lot this summer because these plants are very easy to grow. So my next plant is this one. And I got it at the same nursery as I got the other ones. It was a different trip. I saw on their Facebook page that they had Cebu Blue Pothos one day. It was like, I saw the post at noon and they had posted it at like 10 or 9 in the morning or something like that. So I raced over there once I saw the post because I've always wanted a Cebu Blue Pothos and you can't find them anywhere. I got there and they had sold out of them within the hour. So they had sold out of the Cebu Blue Pothos and the Begonia Maculata, which I also really want. Those two are like the top of my wish list right now. But they did have this. It's a Hoya obovata, and I have a lot of Hoyas. I really love Hoyas. My Hoya numelarioides bloomed this past winter, and it was so great. And I've always wanted a Hoya obovata because I love the big round leaves. But these were really hard to come by for a while too. This is the variegated variety, which to be fair, I don't really like as much as either just the solid green or the speckled. And you can see some of these leaves at the bottom have that variegation in them. But all of the new growth just looks speckled, which I do really like. So it's got kind of like this white speckle pattern all over it. And I'm hoping that as the plant grows, the variegation kind of dies off and it just becomes a speckled obovata. So hopefully that happens. I'm keeping it in a really bright light area anyway though. But yeah, I've always wanted one of these. These have been on my wish list for a long time. And it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. I can't wait for it to start growing. It obviously hasn't done anything since I've got it because I've only had it for, I don't know, a couple weeks. But yeah, I'm very happy. Look at how round that leaf is. Ugh, so nice. So yeah, these next plants I got today, actually. I went out to another nursery because I heard that they were also gonna have Cebu Blue Pothos. They didn't, but they did have a lot of other plants, and I bought some plants at this other nursery before. It's called Valley View, it's in Markham. But I got this little Aurelia, and this was only $4. They had bigger ones there, but I thought I would just start with a really small one. My Aurelia Balfour is not doing too good since I chopped it up, which I really shouldn't have. This one doesn't have as nice foliage as my Aurelia Balfour. It kind of looks like celery leaves, honestly. But I really like Aurelias. Their stems grow so woody and thick and like gnarled that they look really cool and they have a lot of character. So I'm excited to see how this thing grows and watch it grow and everything. I've never had an Aurelia with this foliage before, so I'm not sure what type of Aurelia this is, if it's a Ming Aurelia or what. They don't have any labels at that nursery, so I never really know. I buy things and I'm like, I don't remember what this was. But yeah, I'm excited to see how that grows and to prune it and bonsai it and everything. I also got one of these, which is the Monstera Peru. I haven't had one of these in the past. I've seen these before at nurseries. This one is just a little small one. I paid $9 for it. I don't really like Monstera Perus. I think the foliage is just kind of ugly. But people are always looking for Monstera Perus in the Facebook plant swap groups that I'm in. And I thought that I could grow this and take some cuttings and do some trades. I mean, it might grow on me. As it grows and gets bigger, you know, it probably will grow on me. But it looks like reptile skin, and that kind of like turns me off a little bit. All of them were cut. All of the plants had a leaf that was cut, and I think they did this to propagate it from the leaf. I'm not sure if these can leaf propagate. I've never propagated Monstera Peru because obviously this is my first one. I don't know anything about Monstera Peru, but I imagine that that's why most of them have a cut leaf, is because they take a cutting to do some propagation with. But I'm excited to see how this grows. I don't expect this thing to grow for a while. I don't really know how quickly these do tend to grow, so I guess we'll see. It'll be a learning curve with that one. The last plant that I got today at that same nursery was this small Adansonii, Monstera Adansonii. So it's got all of these holes in its leaves. They had really big full baskets of these that were like, I don't know, like 40 bucks or something. This one was $9, and it was probably one of the best looking ones out of the like group of smaller ones. I've always wanted one of these too. It's kind of like, in terms of the Monstera family, I've always wanted this Ginny, the RHAPHIDOPHORA TETRASPERMA, or the Monstera Ginny. This one, I think I like this even more than the Monstera deliciosa, which we have a big Monstera deliciosa upstairs, and it's one of my favorite plants that we have upstairs because it's so big and the new leaves on it are just massive. But I always love the little arrow-shaped leaves with the splits in them. This one, you know, is cool too, but sometimes the leaves look a little ratty with all the holes in them. It kind of looks like, you know, a slug has been around and ate a bunch of my plant. But I'm really excited to have this and watch it grow and try to create a big, lush version of all of these plants. Even the Monstera Peru, even though it looks like crocodile skin. But yeah, those are my recent plants that I got. Those are the most recent plant hauls that I have. Nothing too crazy, you know, nothing too rare. I mean, I guess, well, the Monstera Peru isn't rare anymore. But yeah, I just really like this OBOVATA. I could touch these big round leaves all day long. So big and round. But yeah, thank you for watching. This was just a quick little video to show you the plant hauls from like January to February. It's not a whole lot. I mean, it is like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plants, which isn't a lot. You know, I could buy 8 plants a day, but I hold myself back. So, you know, 8 over 2 months is pretty good. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for similar content. On Mondays, I post videos about houseplants, and on Fridays, I also post videos about houseplants, and reading, writing, photography, art, and any other generic interests of mine. As always, you can find my social media links in the description below. Also, you can find links to H&H Games, the board game company I've helped create, and our debut board game, Season of Heroes. You can also find the Amazon links to my fantasy series, A Chronicle of Crowns. Thanks for watching, bye!